There are many things in life that I don't understand, and I certainly have a couple of those to talk to you about today. But finally, Morgan Stanley is the first of the folks that follow Tesla to really put some numbers to the IRA. And what is wrong with folks that they have not already modeled this in? I've been talking about it for months. This is Randy Kirk. If you like this kind of content, please like, please subscribe, please hit notify. So many shows this week that you're going to want to see. They're all mentioned in down below. Yes, I changed the Tuesday afternoon because of this breaking news, but I will rearrange the rest of the list as quickly as I can. Please also join Patreon if this is at all valuable to you. If you think it's worth $5 a month to you, then please hit the Patreon button. All right. What's happened is that Morgan Stanley has announced today that the Inventory Reduction Act, the IRA, weirdly named, of course, we all know that, will help Tesla this next year to the tune of $3 to $5 billion. That's right, $3 to $5 billion. Who's been talking about that for months? Only this channel. Watch every other channel. Go back and look at go back and watch everybody else's YouTube channels. Go back and look at all the other punditry that you see on Twitter, and you find me anybody, not Gary Black, not Ross. I don't want to go down the list of names, but nobody has been willing to put it on the line and say that Tesla will make massive, massive, massive additional profits this year from the IRA. I've been talking about it for 6 months. So 3 to 5 billion. We're talking about at least $1 a share. Maybe it'll start to look like $2 a share. And that's just for 2023. Nobody's got this in the numbers. $1 to $2 a share? That's not even in the numbers. When people are talking about $5 a share being the very top that Tesla could possibly earn this year, but all of a sudden you add another $1 or $2 per share. So you're talking about $6 or $7 a share just from the IRA making that contribution. Okay, then Morgan Stanley goes crazy. So they lay it out. They point out all the different, they give details of where this money is going to come from in terms of battery manufacturing, in terms of putting the batteries into packs, in terms of the energy storage, all the different ways that they're going to make this money from the Panasonic, all the things I've been talking about for months. All of this stuff is now laid out by Morgan Stanley. And then they say, however, we don't think that this is going to contribute to margins in 2023 because Tesla is just going to pass it along in price. Well, you think that Tesla is going to drop the prices by that much on the products that they're selling, by that $3 to $5 billion? What kind of nonsense is that? It makes no sense. Okay. So I say, no, it will be 100% contribution to margins, that if we're sitting at 19% margins now, that these will be added to margins, and these will have a dramatic and definite impact on the bottom line for 2023. As I've been saying over and over and over again, I will tell you, I will admit to you, I feel very bad about this, that in my very last analysis for Tesla, I took out the IRA line. I feel bad about doing that. I feel bad. I took it out because nobody else was backing it up. You can go back and look at my videos. You'll see the IRA line was in there. And then last week when I did my analysis, I took out the IRA line because I couldn't get enough information from the first quarter in order to validate what I've been saying all along. I couldn't get enough information from the IRA themselves to validate it. But now Morgan Stanley has gone in, they've done a deep dive. They have information that I can't get a hold of. And they've said, no, it's $3 billion to $5 billion in tax incentives this year. If you go back and look at my old videos, you'll see that I was talking about $1 billion a quarter. I thought maybe it'd take till next year to get to $1 billion a quarter. But can you imagine? I haven't run the numbers yet. I will, based on Morgan Stanley's statements, but I'll start running some numbers and I'll give you these numbers later. Can you imagine that if it's $3 to $5 billion this year, when they're still ramping the 4680, when they're still ramping some of these other facilities that are being built in the United States in order to provide US produced batteries, when they're still ramping just shoveling dirt yesterday with regard to lithium refining, which will be a part of this entire thing. Can you imagine what the numbers are going to be next year? Not 3 to 5 billion. No, I'm going to say they're going to be somewhere on the order of double that next year and double it again the following year. That's a kind of a pulling it out of the air, but it's going to be on that order of magnitude. It is massive. I saw one comment with regard to the tweet thread that was going on about this. And in that tweet thread, the comment was, yeah, Tesla's not talking about it very much because when the United States government realizes what the impact is for Tesla compared to every other car maker, that the dollars are so massive for Tesla in terms of what it's going to put in the shareholders' pockets, that somebody's going to say, hey, we need to change the law. And Elon won't be sad. And I won't be sad. They can change the law, because if they change the law, as long as it's fair and it doesn't hurt Tesla in some way compared to the other makers, Tesla has said all along, Elon has said, we don't need the IRA. It's great. Okay, super. We're glad we got it. We'll use it. We'll do all the stuff that we need to do in order to comply and to take advantage of it, but we don't need it. So how are they going to change it? Are they going to change it? So, would the Biden administration and Democratic people in Congress want to change it in such a way is that all these people that are bringing in the investment dollars to the United States in order to build battery factories, in order to start mining lithium and rare earth metals in the United States, that are building car factories in the United States that might have been built in China or in Germany or in Europe or in Mexico or someplace else. Well, I guess they can build them in Mexico. Do you think that the Congress is also going to turn all that around and say to all these people that have got the investment, that have broken the ground, that have bought the property, that are building the buildings, and that are setting up to bring all this manufacturing and capacity to the United States, they're going to turn around and say, oh no, because Tesla is going to disproportionately win on this thing, we're going to change the law? It could happen because they don't like Tesla. They prove it over and over and over again that they don't like Tesla. So yeah, whatever the government gives you, they can always take away. So I'm sorry about the rant, but it just doesn't make sense to me. This is why you need to be watching this channel. This is why you should subscribe and notify. This is why you should be supporting me on Patreon. If you want to know about these things earlier than the rest of the world, if you want to be able to arbitrage your stock purchases, I'm not an investment advisor. This is just for your entertainment value. I was the one that started talking about the battery storage facility in Lathrop before anybody was talking about it. I was the one that started talking about the robot and the fact that they're going to be able to build these robots way sooner than anybody thinks and come to market. And you will see that later this year, and brought all these amazing robot experts on this channel. I was the one that's been talking about the IRA for months and months and months. Yes, I'm an Uber bull, and maybe my estimates will be wrong, but right now I'm the one who's estimating that the total number of units sold this year will be 2.2 million, not 1.8, not 2, and not 2.2, but a couple of folks are starting to say 2 million is like a walk in the park. Of course, it's going to be more than 2 million. Stevenson is one of them, and he's a very serious an analyst on this. And yesterday, his numbers were very close to mine, quite frankly. So anyway, that's what I wanted to break in to say today, is that the IRA, get it again, I have to say this over and over again. The IRA, according to Morgan Stanley, will contribute $3 to $5 billion to Tesla's bottom line this year. Now, Morgan Stanley says it won't contribute anything to the bottom line. It's just a tax thing that Tesla will use to lower prices. I think that's absolute nonsense. It is the worst analysis I think I've heard this year. No, that's not going to be how it works. Yes, they've already reduced their prices, but they're not reducing their prices based on what their tax incentive is going to be. They're reducing their prices based on selling 100% of the cars that they can make this year. I'm very, very confused, but I'm very glad to see that Morgan Stanley has finally come forward and done the numbers. I'm promising you the numbers later on what this is going to mean in 2024. And I'll also revise my numbers again based on Morgan Stanley and others. James Stevenson, some of his reporting will help me with these numbers as well. And we'll get some better numbers as to what this really means in 2023 and 2024. And maybe, you know what, I think I'll even do 2025. Anyway, if this has been useful, please hit the like button. Please subscribe, notify. take a look at the shows that are coming. The shows that are coming this week with the financial expert that I had on the other day, Rene. I don't know if you saw it. That was this morning, actually. On Tuesday morning, I did a show with him talking about FSD. We will be doing upcoming shows this week that are going to be talking about other aspects of the financial value and valuation of Tesla and some of the future things. He will be breaking news. I promise you these shows will be breaking news. So hit notify so that you can be notified about these. I also just did a video on 9 catalysts. There will be 3 additional videos coming this week that will be talking about 32 total. So take away 9, 23 additional catalysts that are coming within the next 12 months that have the potential to move the stock. So this has been Randy Kirk. I really enjoyed talking to you.